Every morning, Mr. Lewis, 67 years old, would start his day with a model breakfast, a slice of whole wheat bread, a glass of almond milk, and a ripe yellow banana. Eating so healthily, why do my legs still feel weak? He wondered. Climbing a few stairs left him breathless. He had to use his hands to get up from a chair. And the strange thing was, he still ate right and exercised regularly. So what was wrong? Could it be that the very fruit he ate every day was the culprit silently weakening his body? In this video, we will explore 7 types of seemingly healthy fruits, but if consumed incorrectly, they can lead to muscle loss, tired legs. Welcome to our channel, where we not only share nutritional knowledge, but also accompany you on your journey to live powerfully, independently, and healthily in your post-60s. If you are concerned about muscle health, mobility, or are finding yourself gradually weakening despite eating very moderately, please press subscribe and watch until the end of the video, because it's possible that just one familiar fruit, if used correctly, can help your legs become steadier every day. Bananas, one of the healthiest snacks that almost everyone over 60 chooses. Soft, easy to digest, convenient. Many people even eat 2 to 3 a day as a mid-morning snack or to tide them over before exercising. But this seemingly healthy habit could be the reason your muscles are weakening day by day without you even knowing it. Ripe bananas have a glycemic index, GI, of 51 to 62 in the medium range. This means that if eaten on an empty stomach, especially in the morning when insulin is more sensitive than usual, the sugar from bananas will enter the bloodstream very quickly. The body will react by secreting insulin. But in older adults, muscle cells have gradually become slower to respond to insulin, a condition called mild insulin resistance. The result? Sugar doesn't get to where it needs to go. That is, the muscle groups, especially in the legs and back, making you feel tired quickly when walking, heavy thighs, slower steps, dizzy when standing up, and sometimes a feeling of energy depletion even after just eating. A typical example is Mrs. Gloria, 66 years old. She said that every morning she ate 2 bananas before her Tai Chi practice, but after a few weeks, instead of feeling stronger, she felt a slight ache in her knees and her legs trembled when standing for a long time. After consulting a specialist, she switched to eating bananas after a breakfast containing eggs and nut butter and only had 1 banana at a time. The result? She felt her endurance return after 2 weeks of adjustment. What's the truth? Bananas provide energy very quickly, but don't directly support the muscle building process, especially if eaten alone without protein or fiber. An average banana, 120 grams, contains about 27 grams of carbohydrates, of which more than 14 grams are simple sugars, mainly glucose and fructose. However, bananas don't contain much protein, less than 1.3 grams per banana, nor do they have BCAAs, muscle-building amino acids, or natural anti-inflammatory compounds. In other words, bananas help you feel full, but don't help nourish muscles. You can eat bananas regularly and still find your body gradually weakening. So how to use bananas correctly? You should only eat 1 banana per day. Prioritize eating them after a main meal, rich in protein, fish, eggs, yogurt. You can combine them with unsalted nuts like almonds and walnuts. Avoid eating overripe bananas with black spots, as the GI will be higher. Absolutely do not use them to replace breakfast or immediately after exercise. Bananas aren't bad, but the body after age 60 is no longer the same as it used to be. And nutrition, if not at the right time, will no longer be nutrition. So if you've recently found yourself getting tired quickly or having to use your hands to stand up, take a look at that familiar banana snack to see if it needs a small change. Because the body, even after 60 years, can still recover. You just need to give it the right opportunity at the right time, in the right way. But bananas aren't the only acquaintance that can easily mislead you. There's another type of fruit, often found in snacks, especially in Asian households. Fragrant, intensely sweet, 1 bite and you're hooked. Yes, we're talking about jackfruit, a fruit not found in every supermarket, but very popular with those who love tropical sweetness. If bananas are a familiar snack, then jackfruit is often an addictive treat. 1 segment, then 2. Before you know it, the whole container is gone. No need for added sugar, no need for milk. Just the characteristic aroma and slightly rich flavor are enough to make many people feel it's a natural and healthy dessert. However, behind the spiky skin and sweet taste, jackfruit is a particularly unsuitable fruit for those concerned about muscle and joint health. Why is that? A serving of jackfruit around 150 grams, which is about 5 to 6 small segments, contains up to 30 to 35 grams of natural sugars, mainly glucose and fructose. This is a very high amount of sugar, equivalent to 8 to 9 teaspoons of sugar, but it doesn't have enough fiber to slow down absorption, nor does it have protein, healthy fats, and almost very few amino acids important for muscles. According to the USDA, jackfruit belongs to the empty calorie group, high in energy but low in essential micronutrients for older adults and lacking BCAAs, important amino acids that help synthesize muscle protein. And that's a big problem for people over 60, because at this age, what the body needs isn't just feeling full, but enough raw materials to regenerate muscle tissue. Jackfruit can make us feel bloated, but it silently starves the muscles. Let me share with you about Mr. Lam, who lives in Florida, is of Vietnamese origin, and goes to the Asian market every week and loves jackfruit. It tastes good, and I don't worry about gaining weight, he said, but after a few months of eating jackfruit almost every other day, he started to have difficulty climbing stairs and occasionally had back pain even when just standing to cook. During a nutritional checkup, the doctor found a slight increase in his blood sugar and signs of protein deficiency. He had been eating very adequately, but not providing the right things his body needed to nourish his muscles. Since then, he switched to eating only 1 to 2 jackfruit segments after main meals and combined it with Greek yogurt. After just 1 month, he saw a significant improvement in his endurance during morning walks. You see, you don't need to break up with jackfruit forever. Just eat it smarter. Limit 1 to 2 small segments, time, no more than 2 times, week. Eat it after a protein-rich meal, like boiled eggs, yogurt, or grilled fish. Absolutely do not eat it on an empty stomach, as it will cause a sudden increase in blood sugar. Do not use jackfruit to replace main meals or protein-rich foods. The body after age 60 doesn't need a lot of sugar, but needs the solid building blocks of muscle, protein, anti-inflammatory compounds, and balanced nutrition. Jackfruit, if eaten incorrectly, not only deprives you of these factors, but also creates a sweet trap that disrupts insulin activity, makes it difficult for muscles to recover, and makes them tire more easily after exercise. So if you find yourself getting tired more quickly after eating jackfruit, or your legs have been inexplicably weakening recently, don't rush to blame old age. Take a look at the sweet foods you eat regularly. If jackfruit is a sweet trap for the body, then the next fruit, though small and delicate, has the potential to cause much greater impact if used incorrectly. It is considered a symbol of health, often appears in light breakfasts, lunch boxes, or antioxidant-rich salads. Yes, I'm talking about sweet grapes, especially red grapes and seedless black grapes, fruits that many people over 60 love, but few realize can also be silent enemies of muscles. There's no denying it. Grapes are very easy to eat, mildly sweet, juicy. One bite and they burst, and especially no need to peel, seedless for many varieties. Because of this, many people use grapes as a mid-morning snack or eat them after lunch to benefit circulation and the heart. However, few people know that grapes are very rich in fructose, a natural sugar that the liver must metabolize first. It doesn't go directly into the bloodstream like glucose. When you eat too many grapes, especially on an empty stomach, the liver can become overloaded, producing uric acid, a substance linked to soft tissue inflammation, muscle and joint pain, and reduced muscle recovery. According to the Arthritis Foundation, the high fructose content in grapes can increase uric acid, causing inflammation in the tissues around the joints, create blood sugar fluctuations, making insulin work harder. And if your body is becoming less sensitive to insulin, common after age 60, muscles have difficulty absorbing energy, leading to easy and rapid fatigue and slow recovery, especially when eating more than 20 to 25 grapes at once, equivalent to a large handful. You've consumed about 20 to 30 grams of natural sugar, but almost no protein or fat to slow down absorption. The result? Fatigue after light walking, a creaking sensation in the knees, stiff thighs the next morning, and sometimes slight calf trembling after standing for a long time. You may have heard that red grape skin contains resveratrol, a very good antioxidant. That's absolutely right. but to absorb resveratrol, you have to eat the skin and the seeds in small amounts. And if you only eat the flesh of the grapes or seedless grapes, then for the most part you are consuming sugar without getting the antioxidant benefits you expect. And don't worry, grapes aren't completely bad, but they need to be eaten correctly. Limit the amount, about 10 to 15 grapes at a time, equivalent to a small handful. Always eat them after a main meal, or with a handful of unsalted nuts, walnuts, almonds, to slow down sugar absorption. Absolutely avoid eating them on an empty stomach, especially in the afternoon when the liver is tired. Avoid eating them as a snack before bed, because at this time insulin works slowly, making it easy for sugar to accumulate as uric acid. I have a suggestion for you. Instead of eating grapes as an evening snack, try mixing red grapes with skin and seeds with unsweetened Greek yogurt. Add a little chia seeds or flax seeds. Eat it after lunch or in the late afternoon after walking. The cool, mildly sweet, crunchy texture from the seeds is not only delicious, but also helps keep insulin stable, preventing unexpected muscle fatigue at the end of the day. Like a kind friend, but needing moderation, sweet grapes can become an ally in protecting muscles if you understand how to use them and know when to limit them. And if eaten incorrectly, they can completely become a familiar acquaintance that gradually weakens us without us even realizing it. If grapes are sweet and easy to overdo, then lychee is sweet and deceptively gentle, making you unaware that you've just consumed too much sugar for a body that needs strict homeostasis, especially after age 60. Seemingly simple, soft, and juicy, but because it's easy to eat, low in fiber, and has a rapid sugar impact. Lychee can be the reason your legs gradually lose strength each time you eat more than necessary. A bunch of lychees in the fridge, a few after lunch, or as an evening snack, is a very familiar habit for many older adults. However, did you know? Just 10 to 12 small lychees, approximately 150 grams, contain about 28 to 30 grams of sugar, equivalent to 7 to 8 teaspoons. And unlike many other fruits, lychee has almost no significant protein, fat, or fiber to slow down absorption. The result is sugar enters the bloodstream very quickly, insulin has to work rapidly, and then it crashes. If this repeats frequently, it can disrupt energy regulation, causing muscle tissue to lack nutrients and recover slowly after light exercise. According to The Lancet 2017, lychee contains hypoglycin A and MCPG, two compounds that can affect the ability to balance glucose in sensitive conditions, such as when hungry or in people with metabolic disorders. Especially for older adults, when liver and pancreas function has decreased in efficiency, eating lychees on an empty stomach can lead to rapid increase in blood sugar, sudden insulin release. Muscles do not receive enough glucose due to a lack of accompanying protein. Fatigue, sluggishness, slight leg trembling after walking, easy loss of strength after a seemingly gentle morning. If you have experienced the following conditions for no apparent reason, try to recall if you ate a lot of lychees in the past 1 to 2 days. Calves tire quickly after just a few minutes of walking. Knees tremble when standing for a long time. Afternoon sluggishness, even if you slept well in the morning. A strong urge to sit down immediately after standing up. These are signs that sharp glucose fluctuations have disrupted energy metabolism, especially in the leg muscles, which bear weight constantly. Is there a secret to eating lychees correctly, or is complete avoidance necessary? Complete avoidance isn't necessary, but please limit to 5 to 6 fruits at a time and eat them after a main meal. Avoid eating lychees on an empty stomach or right before bed. If you want to eat them in the late afternoon, combine them with a few unsalted nuts or unsweetened Greek yogurt. Monitor your body's reaction. If you notice unusual fatigue after a few days of eating a lot of lychees, stop for 3 to 5 days and observe. Here's a safe lychee menu suggestion for you. Instead of eating the whole bunch, try mixing 5 peeled lychees with mashed avocado and flax seeds, a smooth dessert that helps stabilize blood sugar. Blend lychees, cucumber, lime, ginger for a controlled cooling drink that doesn't cause muscle fatigue, or cook lychee soup with stuffed mushrooms and tofu, a light Asian dish rich in plant-based protein and extremely suitable for older adults. Lychees are delicious, that's a fact, but bodies after 60 need delicious things in a smart way. Remember, The feeling of a light stomach and refreshment immediately after eating lychees doesn't mean your body is thanking you. Sometimes it's a false signal, and the consequences that follow are real. If you're ready, we'll continue with ripe mangoes, a fruit thought to be a summer vitamin boost, but which can paralyze the ability to regenerate muscles if used incorrectly. If lychee is a sweetness that easily makes us slip up, then mango is a more subtle and dangerous slip because it pretends to be a summer superfood. Soft, juicy, golden, eating it is refreshing and fragrant. However, behind that light feeling, mango can cause a sugar shock in older adults' bodies, block the protein synthesis process, and slow down muscle tissue recovery after each light exercise. An average ripe mango, shy 200 grams edible portion, can contain up to 40 to 45 grams of sugar, equivalent to nearly 11 teaspoons. The sweetness in mangoes comes from glucose, absorbed extremely quickly. Sucrose causes a strong increase in blood sugar. Fructose causes muscle fatigue if not metabolized correctly. Mangoes have almost no accompanying protein, fiber, or fat, so sugar enters the bloodstream as quickly as a flood without a dam. According to USDA Food Data Central, carbohydrates in mangoes are mostly simple sugars and do not come with muscle-protecting compounds like polyphenols or anti-inflammatory flavonoids. And according to the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging, 2021, chronic insulin fluctuations in older adults are associated with impaired synthesis of myosin and actin, two proteins that make up muscle tissue. Simply put, every time insulin spikes after a meal high in mangoes, the process of rebuilding muscle fibers is interrupted. Repeated every week, the body gradually weakens without understanding why. Do you know when mangoes are most harmful? Eating on an empty stomach, sugar is absorbed extremely quickly, nothing to stop it. Glucose shock. After exercise or activity, muscles need amino acids to recover, but you only provide sugar. Muscles are not nourished. Before sleeping, insulin increases, but metabolism slows down. Excess sugar easily turns into fat, creating mild chronic inflammation. Waking up tired, heavy legs, but don't rush to give up mangoes. You can safely keep mangoes in your diet if you only eat 1/4 to 1/2 a fruit at a time. You eat them after a main meal containing protein and fat, slowing down sugar absorption. You don't eat overly ripe mangoes with many black spots, higher glycemic index. You don't eat mangoes before sleeping or after exercising. Here are some tips to help you eat mangoes in a muscle-friendly way. Please try. Cut mango slices, eat with unsweetened Greek yogurt and walnuts. Make a mango salad with sprouts, grilled salmon, and flax seeds. Blend a mango, avocado, lime smoothie, but add plant-based protein powder to balance nutrition. Mangoes easily create a healthy misconception because they are easy to digest, fragrant, and rich in vitamin C. But if you are over 60, then the timing of eating, the amount, and how you combine them are key. And if you think mangoes are the most dangerous, then wait and see. The next fruit brings an even stronger and faster sugar shock and has almost no muscle-protecting nutrients. We will move on to watermelon, a fruit thought to be just water and coolness. But it turns out to be the one that collapses the body's energy foundation if not used correctly. Are you ready? If mangoes are a fruit that easily causes an insulin shock, then watermelon, with its cool and light feeling, is the biggest culprit in creating misconceptions. Everyone thinks that watermelon is just water. Eating it feels light on the stomach, helps cool you down, and there's nothing to worry about. But the reality is, watermelon has the highest glycemic index among common fruits, and that makes the muscles of people over 60 easily weaken silently without anyone noticing. Watermelon has a glycemic index, GI, ranging from 72 to 76, a very high level. This is an index that measures the speed at which sugar is absorbed into the blood after eating. That is, just a few slices of watermelon are enough to make blood sugar spike within 20 to 30 minutes. In young people, insulin will react quickly, keeping blood sugar stable. But after age 60, the ability to respond to insulin decreases significantly. According to research in the journal Nutrients, 2020, chronic insulin resistance is a major factor causing impaired muscle protein synthesis in older adults. So what has watermelon done to your body? Calf fatigue after a sweet meal? feeling of weakened legs when grocery shopping or climbing stairs, slow recovery after light exercise, thighs easily give out when standing for a long time. Many people even report, every time I eat watermelon in the afternoon, I feel lazy and sluggish in the evening. But the problem isn't just the sugar, but also the nutritional structure. Watermelon, almost no fiber, sugar is absorbed faster. No protein, doesn't support muscle recovery, lacks magnesium, zinc, B6, substances that support neuromuscular transmission. That is, you consume a delicious amount of sugar without any accompanying components to help the body process that sugar correctly. What are the common mistakes when older adults eat watermelon? Eating watermelon instead of a light lunch, eating it in the evening before bed, eating a lot right after exercising. All those times cause the body to absorb sugar in an orphaned way, uncontrolled, and disrupt energy metabolism. But if you still want to enjoy this summer fruit without your legs giving out, you can. Eat only one small cup, approximately 150 grams at a time. Always eat it after a main meal containing protein and fat. Avoid eating watermelon after 6 p.m. or before going to bed. Absolutely do not use watermelon to replace snacks if you have just exercised. Or here's a safer suggestion for you. Try blending watermelon with chia seeds and a few slices of lime. Drink after lunch. Cutting it into small pieces, sprinkling lightly roasted pumpkin seeds on top increases fiber and protein, combining it with unsweetened Greek yogurt as a cool summer treat. Watermelon has a mild sweetness, but it's a stealthy culprit causing weakness, especially for those who feel leg fatigue, loss of strength, or unexplained sluggishness. For people over 60, every energy source needs to be directed, and watermelon, if not controlled, is wasted energy that disrupts the body. You see, even high water, low fault fruits like watermelon can be a factor in slowing down your mobility every day. And if watermelon is a sweet but tiring fruit, then the last fruit, durian, is a true sugar and fat bomb that can destroy the muscle recovery process after just a few incorrect servings. If watermelon is the cool, easy-to-eat type that silently drains your strength, then durian is the type that's so delicious. We forget how heavy it is. Just one segment. It's soft, rich, and intensely fragrant, melting in your mouth. But that very feeling of indulgence hides an uncontrolled nutritional storm heading for aging muscles. One durian segment, by 150 grams, contains nearly 27 to 30 grams of simple sugars, approximately 16 to 18 grams of fat, mostly saturated and monounsaturated, about 300 kilocalories, equivalent to a light meal. This is one of the few fruits that is both high in sugar and high in fat, which seriously hinders the process of muscle recovery and regeneration if not eaten correctly. But why does it affect the muscles of older adults? After age 60, the body slows down insulin processing. Sugar easily causes inflammation, reduces the ability to digest fat. Fat easily accumulates in the liver and blood vessels, reduces muscle protein synthesis, difficult to recover after exercise. When a large amount of sugar plus fat is consumed at the same time, the body will secrete a lot of insulin to process sugar, causing an energy shock, convert excess fat into visceral fat, affecting metabolism, inhibit mitochondrial function in muscle cells, leading to poor muscle recovery. A 2024 study in the journal Scientific Reports clearly showed that a diet high in saturated fat and simple sugars reduces insulin sensitivity in older adults, thereby directly affecting the ability to synthesize protein, a vital factor for maintaining muscle tissue. Meanwhile, another comprehensive report in Frontiers in Immunology stated that chronic inflammation due to excess sugar and fat intake is one of the causes of gradual atrophy of muscle groups in the hips, thighs, and knees, areas that maintain balance in older adults. So don't be surprised if just one durian meal for fun leaves lingering effects the next day, slow to get up, tired climbing stairs, or feeling the need to gain momentum every time you want to take a long step. These signals don't come from simple aging, but from how the body reacts to what we put in without paying attention. So is it necessary to say goodbye to durian? There's no need to completely cut off anything that makes us happy, but we need to adjust so it doesn't become something that takes away our strength every day. If you love durian, consider it a treat, not a main course. A small piece after a protein-rich meal, not a large segment replacing dinner. Give your body time to process the sugar and fat gently, and if you can, combine it with a few unsalted nuts or unsweetened yogurt to balance blood sugar levels and reduce the insulin response. Because at this age, every choice isn't just about taste, it's a decision. Do I want my legs to stand firm for another 10 years? Durian is delicious. But for older adults, that deliciousness needs to come with understanding. And if you choose correctly, you can enjoy that flavor without sacrificing your daily freedom. There's a strange thing about old age that few people talk about. Not all changes come from time, but often they come from habits. We repeat them every day with complete trust. A banana after a meal, thought to fill the stomach. A sweet piece of jackfruit for enjoyment. A handful of grapes, a few lychees, or a cool slice of mango on a summer afternoon. All have a reason. All bring a little comfort. But that repeated comfort is what weakens the body, silently. At that point, we begin to look back at things we thought were harmless. A ripe banana eaten on an empty stomach can cause insulin fluctuations and disrupt muscle recovery rhythm. A serving of jackfruit, thought to be light, but carries empty calories, preventing muscles from rebuilding despite feeling full. Grapes, with their light sweetness, but too much fructose, easily leading to chronic inflammation and muscle fatigue after exercise. Lychee, juicy, delicious, but causes a glucose shock if eaten at the wrong time. Mango, beautiful, soft, but if eaten alone, hinders the protein synthesis process. Watermelon, thought to be just water, but raises blood sugar like an elevator with no brakes. And finally, durian, tempting, alluring, but if loved too much, will leave the body full of energy, but starved for recovery. They are all fruits. They all once helped us feel happy. But the body after 60 is no longer the same. It doesn't need a lot, but it needs the right things. It doesn't need extreme dieting, but it needs to understand what it needs to keep moving steadily. Dear friend, if you are still here, it means you truly care about your health, and that is already a gift, not just for you, but for all the loved ones who are still by your side every day. Because you understand that we cannot control aging, but we can choose how to go through it, mindfully, gently, and with love. You don't need to give up fruit. No need to say goodbye to the things you love. You just need to adjust a little so that what you eat is not only delicious, but also beneficial. Don't see fruit as the enemy. See them as a piece of music, with notes that need to sound frequently, and notes that should be restrained. Because for the body after age 60, balance is the most wonderful music. You are not weak. You are not fading away. You are just changing, and your body deserves to be treated more intelligently, more understandingly. If today you start to look back at what you have eaten, if today you choose to reduce a few grapes, a slice of mango, or that familiar glass of watermelon juice, then tomorrow your legs will silently thank you. Your knees will hurt less. Getting up will be gentler, and your heart will beat more peacefully with every step. And if you find this content helpful, please share it. Send it to the friend who once mentioned, "My legs have been tired lately." Send it to your parents if you see them eating regularly, but their strength is declining, because sometimes just a timely reminder can change the entire journey of a loved one's healthy living. Don't forget to press subscribe to the channel to receive scientific, gentle but profound insights, specifically for the post-60s. And before you leave, I want to ask you one thing. Which fruit will you start changing with first? Leave a comment below. I will read every line and accompany you every step of the way on your journey to restoring the strength of your golden years.